Hello, this is Asiri with Light. Welcome in another Boeing 737 video tutorial. This video is the second in the series to talk about the approach and landing in the Boeing 737 for new pilots. And we'll talk how to do and maintain the extended center line of the runway on the approach. And you can use this technique for any approach, an ILS, a non-precision visual. For me personally, it was very helpful in my single engine ILS approaches in the simulator training. So give it a try in the simulator and see how you like it. So before we start, I'd like just to emphasize that your scan time is mostly in the PFD, and you need to take a look at the engine instruments and look outside. And now try to add the ND as part of your scan. The track here is a very powerful tool in my opinion, because it will give you an anticipation of the potential deviation of the localizer, and you can do the correction even before the flight director give you any indication that you need to do the correction. So you can do a very small and smooth corrections using the track. However, you need to remember that you need to follow the flight director always, and again the PFD is your primary scan area here, but use the track as a tool to help you in controlling the lateral or the extended center line of the runway. One more thing that I'd like to point out here is for the roll, when you do the correction for a localizer, try not to exceed 5 degrees on the bank. We can do it at 2 degrees. So you start your turn 2 degrees and then go wings level and then assess the situation with the localizer, and we'll talk about how the track can help you in doing that. So 2-3 degrees usually is enough for you to do the correction, go wings level, and if you need to return back to the runway center line once the localizer is centered, then again 2-3 degrees of bank angle and so on. So start a roll and then go wings level, assess the situation, and then roll again if you need to. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot and auto throttle now. And remember always, once the runway is in the middle of the ND here, to reduce the range so you have a better picture. We have about 20 knots from crosswind from the right, and as you can see we are deviating now left of the runway as indicated in the ND here, as indicated as well by the localizer diamond here. By the way, the scale here from center all the way to the end is half a dot. So if you maintain the diamond within this scale, you are working within half a dot from the localizer. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a roll. I'll try to make it at 2 degrees roll to the right. I'm aiming for the track to be to the right of the runway, since the localizer is already to the right now. And once the track is here slightly right of the runway, I'm gonna go wings level, keep an eye on the localizer, and once the localizer comes back to center, then I'm gonna roll to the left to retain the track line to be at the center of the runway. And this is what I'm gonna do throughout the approach. So 2 degrees or so. I think this is more like 5 degrees. Should have been less than 5 degrees. And then once the track is to the right of center line, I'm going to go wings level, and then assess the situation. Is the localizer moving? It is moving slowly, so I might go 1 degree and then wings level. And as you can see now, the track is to the right of the runway, so the localizer is going to move now, and it is moving. Once the localizer is almost at the center here, I'll try to put the track back again on the extended center line of the runway between the two lines. And once the runway is within the 5 miles range here, or half at the ND, I'm going to reduce the range again. And wings level. Continuing the scan, 1 degree to the right, and then wings level and wait. Because in this I'm doing a slight correction to the right now, and once this is perfectly centered, then I'm gonna move the track again to be between the two lines here. I'm gonna reduce the range again for the ND. So the localizer diamond is at the center. I'm gonna go 1 degree to the left, track is in the center, I'm gonna go wings level. Give it a try when you do your single engine ILS approaches in the simulator, and let me know please what do you think about it, or if you have another technique, please let me know. Usually in the simulator they'll give you about 10 knots crosswind, total of 15 knots. Okay, so now I'm moving a little bit to the left, so I'm going to go 2 degrees, roll to the right, trying to put the track to the right of the runway, and then wings level, and wait for the localizer to get back to the center. And then I'm gonna do a left roll of 1 degree or so to have the track at the center of the runway. Again, I'm drifting a little bit to the left, so 1 degree, it's only 1 degree roll, and then wings level. As you can see, it is very small, very minor changes, and all the changes are within the flight director indication. So I'm not ignoring the flight director, but I am working within or anticipating the movement even of the flight director using the Lndg. Alright, so here's 100. I'm gonna pause and let's look outside. We are slightly left of the center line, so we are looking outside. We are within a very good margin of the center line, and remember we have still 20 knots crosswind. So again, I think it's gonna help you a lot, and if you have a different technique on how to utilize the any other indication here in the cockpit to maintain the localizer or do the correction, please let me know. In a future video we'll talk about the glide slope, talk about the speed and the power setting or the thrust setting. This concludes this video, and as always, if you have any questions, comments or concerns, please let me know. Until next time, this is Asiri. Wish you a safe flying and smooth landing. Thank you for watching.